Hi Algebra, this video is going to review distributing monomials into a polynomial. So the monomial is the thing that is just one term. So here's my monomial. I need to distribute negative 8x cubed into the polynomial. So it needs to get multiplied by this first term, by this second term, and by this third term. So the arrows just remind me that I'm giving it to all the terms in this trinomial. All three terms need to get multiplied. And so let's just review the rules over here. So here's the steps that you need to follow. Number one, you need to consider when you're multiplying positives times negatives. The second thing you need to remember is that we multiply the coefficients. So the coefficients are the numbers in front. We multiply the coefficient. That's the numbers. We multiply the numbers. I'm going to have to do 8 times 2 in just a second. And the third thing we have to remember is that we add the exponents. We add the exponents on the variables. And so I'm going to do these 3 steps slowly so that I don't get things confused. So over here, let's go back to the problem. The first thing we have to consider is a negative times a positive, and that's going to be a negative. And then I have to consider 8 times 2, and that's 16. And now I'll study the x's. So when there's 3 x's times 4 x's, the question is how many is that? You add the exponents, you add the powers. 3 plus 4, that should make 7. Let's see, does that work? X to the third times x to the fourth. That's 3 x's times 4 more x's. Is that indeed 7 x's? Yes. So you add the powers. All right, let's go ahead and do the second step. So now negative has to get multiplied by negative. So we're distributing the negative, and that's a positive. Step 1, check. Now let's multiply the coefficients. What's 8 times 3? And that's 24. Check. Now let's add the powers. 3 x's get combined with 2 x's. That's going to make a total of 5 x's. And there's one step left. I have to distribute all the way here to this last term. A negative times a positive is a negative. 8 times 4 is 32. 3 x's plus 1 more x, that's x to the 4th. And that is how you distribute a monomial into the polynomial. It's interesting because I'm making all my videos here in my dining room. My husband has taken over the office for all his work calls. My kids have taken over the kitchen with their e-learning, so I'm making all my videos in the dining room. Okay, back to your work.